Chapter 7: The Milky Way and the Wisdom Boat of Kuan Yin Bodhisattva. In the previous lesson, His Holiness Dharma Protector guided us through the Dew Tree Palace, the 8 Trigrams Palace, and from the ocean of suffering onward to the Milky Way, which symbolizes the boundary between the mortal world and the divine realm. On this sacred river, the Wisdom Boat, steered by Kuan Yin Bodhisattva under the direction of Maitreya Buddha, traverses regularly to rescue perispirits. The 8 Trigrams Palace and the Milky Way. The 8 Trigrams Palace, with its 8 luminous gates, is the convergence point of the 8 perispirits: matter, plants, animals, humans, deities, saints, immortals, and Buddhas. Here, each perispirit's true nature and virtues are revealed through the radiance surrounding them. Perispirits that achieve a perfected state progress into the 8 Trigrams Palace, while those who do not meet the requirements must continue their cycle of reincarnation for further cultivation and transformation. On the Milky Way, the Wisdom Boat, helmed by Kuan Yin Bodhisattva, serves as a divine vessel that carries perispirits across the river. This boat symbolizes infinite compassion and reminds us that salvation is available only to perispirits who sincerely yearn for enlightenment and diligently practice spiritual cultivation. The evolution of the perispirit. In this lesson, His Holiness emphasizes the distinction between human spirituality and animal instincts, encouraging humanity to follow the path of God the Father rather than succumbing to base instincts. He explains that the human body originates from animalistic traits, formed over millions of years of evolution, from the instinctual perispirit to the soul. However, it is the divine spark, granted by the sacred realm, that enables humans to transcend animal instincts, preserve human dignity, and evolve into the ranks of spirit, saint, immortal, and Buddha. His Holiness underscores that human wisdom, a gift from God the Father, is granted to elevate humanity above all other beings. However, if this wisdom is misused to serve desires and animalistic instincts, it betrays the divine and creation. He teaches, God the Father grants us wisdom beyond all creatures, yet humanity often betrays creation, becoming arrogant and conceited. Holy and Buddhist scriptures declare, human wisdom can become demonic. This is why our ancestors, especially in Vietnam, would call someone cunning or deceitful a demon. Our wisdom becomes demonic when it leads us astray. If we follow it blindly, how can we hope to attain the lofty ranks of deity, saint, immortal, and Buddha promised by God the Father? As he said, "If you can surpass me, I will humble myself for you to achieve these ranks." His Holiness warns that when people lose their dignity and become enslaved by their demonic tendencies, they spiral into mutual destruction and violence, much like animals fighting for survival. This is the root cause of suffering and chaos in the world. He reminds us that only by maintaining our spirituality and human dignity can we progress on the divine path of eternal life and reach the exalted ranks promised by God the Father. Conclusion: the journey across the Milky Way and aboard the Wisdom Boat represents divine salvation and boundless compassion. His Holiness reminds us that only by upholding our spirituality and dignity can we overcome animalistic instincts and earthly limitations, enabling us to progress along the divine path of eternal life. Wisdom must be guided by the way and sincere devotion, so that every perispirit may achieve enlightenment and merge into the light of God the Father. Chapter 8: The Mystical Secrets of the 8 Trigrams Palace and the Palace of the Heavenly Union Mission. Today, His Holiness Dharma Protector Pham Kong Tak continues his discourse on the journey along the divine path of eternal life, leading us deeper into the sublime realms. The 8 Trigrams Palace. His Holiness begins by explaining in detail the 8 Trigrams Palace, a divine realm with 8 gates, representing the 8 grades of perispirits: matter, plants, animals, humans, deities, saints, immortals, and Buddhas. The palace rotates like a colossal wheel, radiating 8 beams of light that illuminate the entire universe. Within these 8 beams of light, the essence of each perispirit is clearly revealed, from the material to the highest ranks, such as saints, immortals, and Buddhas. Regardless of rank, the spiritual essence of every being shines with a purity that transcends the physical imperfections of earthly existence. This is the realm where the perpetual evolution and progression of perispirits unfold, creating the cycle of growth and transformation throughout the universe. The sacred palaces before the Dew Tree Palace. His Holiness describes 3 primary palaces that precede the Dew Tree Palace: the throne of the Holy Mother, the palace of the Heavenly Union Mission at the center, the Pure Land to the right, the palace of the Jade Emperor to the left. Each palace radiates resplendent light, creating an awe-inspiring, sacred landscape. From the palace of the Heavenly Union Mission, perispirits are guided toward the other 2 palaces, where they undergo lessons and trials to achieve self-perfection. The palace of the Heavenly Union Mission, defender of all beings. The palace of the Heavenly Union Mission is the place where God the Father appoints the perfect beings to function as representatives for all living beings. It serves as a sacred court of justice for the universe, protecting and advocating for perispirits while rendering fair judgments. Only perispirits who have achieved complete purity and fulfillment of their divine roles can enter this palace, where these exalted beings tirelessly guide and protect the children of God the Father on their journey of evolution. His Holiness emphasizes that the beings in the palace of the Heavenly Union Mission continually pray and intercede for all perispirits, regardless of the realms they inhabit. This demonstrates the boundless compassion and absolute fairness of divine power. Humanity must understand the law of cause and effect. His Holiness urges everyone to deeply understand the law of cause and effect and the divine authority of reward and punishment. He reminds us that only through cultivation and adherence to the path of God the Father can we return to His embrace. Filial piety toward God the Father and loyalty to His holy body are the paths to liberation and enlightenment. His Holiness teaches, whether attaining the rank of spirit, saint, immortal, or Buddha, one must earn the certificate of perfection to enter the palace of the Heavenly Union Mission. This palace is dedicated to the protection of all living entities. I find it fascinating that God the Father established the Heavenly Union Palace in this world. When I entered, I saw a welcoming spirit among them. I am certain that their silent wish is for me to return and convey this to humanity. The judgment for each life in the palace of the Heavenly Union Mission has been made, and we have taken on many challenges. We hope that humanity understands the divine law of cause and effect and the divine authority of reward and punishment. Go back and share this understanding, reassuring them that in the spiritual realm, their beloved ones are constantly praying and interceding for them. Conclusion. His Holiness Dharma Protector Pham Cong Tak affirms that no power can forsake or abandon those who practice cultivation and uphold human dignity. This is a profound encouragement for everyone to persevere on the divine path of eternal life, trusting that divine justice and compassion will always be a steadfast foundation for us. Chapter 9: The Long Hua Assembly and the Assignment of Ranks for Perispirits. Today, His Holiness Dharma Protector Pham Cong Tak continues teaching about the Long Hua Assembly and its connection to the Palace of the Heavenly Union Mission and the destiny of humanity. This marks a pivotal era as the third cycle of the Ha Niguan concludes, and the divine plan initiates the Long Hua Assembly, a sacred event where perispirits are judged and ranked, preparing for entry into the fourth cycle of the Upper Grand Cycle. The Long Hua Assembly and its significance, according to the teachings of God the Father, The Long Hua Assembly is a grand spiritual examination where perispirits are assigned their ranks based on their merits and karmic debts. This is a crucial moment when all grievances and karmic consequences of individuals, nations, and the world must be resolved. Humanity, in this phase, is paying off its accumulated karma, leading to large-scale upheavals such as wars, conflicts, and chaos. The root causes of chaos. His Holiness identifies that the current global turmoil is the result of karma accumulated over countless lifetimes. He compares this period to the tumultuous Tay Son era in Vietnam's history, stating that it is a phase where karmic debts are being repaid, not just for Vietnam but for all humanity. Earth 68, the dwelling place of humankind, bears the consequences of the misdeeds of past generations. The difference between humans and animals: unlike animals, humans cannot survive in isolation but must form societies for mutual existence. While animals live by natural instincts, humans use their intelligence to deceive and exploit one another. His Holiness emphasizes that although humans may deceive society, they cannot escape the divine law of cause and effect. Humans compete for survival by exploiting resources and even resorting to violence against one another. This cycle of suffering stems from greed and a lack of morality. His Holiness further explains that when humanity regresses, it risks reverting to a state as lowly as animals. To prevent this, the divine beings have opened the path of evolution through the Long Hua Assembly. The role of society and the law of justice. From the earliest times, humans formed societies to protect themselves from wild animals and external threats. Initially, societies were small groups that evolved into nations with structured laws and governance. However, over time, human intelligence became a double-edged sword, creating disorder instead of harmony. In today's world, as democracy spreads, power often falls into the hands of individuals lacking ethics and knowledge. This results in growing instability among nations and perpetual chaos for humanity. God the Father's method: in response to this turmoil, God the Father descended to guide humanity. He granted the Cao Dai religious constitution, a sacred and eternal legal system founded on fairness. Only by implementing this divine law can nations and humanity build stable, happy, and glorious societies. His Holiness stresses that for stability and prosperity to be achieved, humanity must return to ethics. By building lives rooted in love and justice, people can eliminate karma and create a brighter future. The Long Hua Assembly provides an opportunity for each perispirit to reassess its place and advance into a new era of evolution during the fourth cycle of the Upper Grand Cycle. Conclusion: the Long Hua Assembly is not just a sacred event but also a chance for humanity to reflect and reform. His Holiness Dharma Protector Pham Cong Tak calls on everyone to return to morality and live in accordance with divine law, thereby earning the blessings of God the Father. This is the only path for humanity to overcome the present chaos and step into an era of peace and happiness. Chapter 10: The Essential Philosophy of the Religion and What is the Perispirit? Today, His Holiness Dharma Protector Pham Cong Tak continues his discourse on the divine path of eternal life, emphasizing the essential philosophy concerning the perispirit and the concept of the perispirit. This is a crucial topic that explains the nature and purpose of existence, as well as the path each individual must take to attain liberation. The foundational philosophy of the religion. His Holiness affirms that the philosophy of Cao Dai religion is not abstract or incomprehensible but rather the true path that God the Father has opened to guide humanity. The way teaches us to understand our true nature and to live a righteous and progressive life. The philosophy rejects deceit and guides humanity towards seeking and practicing truth. He also emphasizes that the Cao Dai religion is built upon fundamental truths, evidenced by the Golden Basin and the 8 trigrams palace, which clearly illustrate the hierarchy of perispirits from the lowest to the highest ranks. These symbols represent the progression and perfection that humans must strive to achieve. The perispirit, nature and role. His Holiness explains that the perispirit is the sacred essence of divine light bestowed upon humanity by the Holy Mother. It is the most noble spiritual part within each individual. The perispirit is not the physical body we inhabit, which is merely an animal body, created as a vehicle to sustain life. He compares the perispirit to a divine beam of light originating from the Holy Mother's divine grace. It is the eternal source of life that helps humans overcome life's challenges. If one preserves and cultivates the perispirit, they will safeguard their perispirit and ascend to higher spiritual ranks within the universe. Earth and its unique role. His Holiness highlights that Earth 68, where humanity resides, holds a distinctive place among the 72 planets in the universe. Despite its low position, it has produced many exalted beings, including deities, saints, immortals, and Buddhas. This demonstrates Earth's profound significance in the evolution of perispirits. He underscores that achieving exalted ranks requires enduring numerous trials. Perfect beings did not attain their status by chance but through perseverance, courage, and determination to overcome the burdens of karma. The 4 sufferings and human connection to society. His Holiness explains that humans are born bearing the 4 sufferings: birth, aging, sickness, and death. These inevitable pains serve as lessons to help humans understand the nature of life. He emphasizes the importance of repaying karmic debts accumulated over many lifetimes. He likens the human body to a beast of burden that must be tamed. If one succumbs to animalistic instincts, they risk falling into degradation. Conversely, by using wisdom and divine light to govern the body, one can evolve and attain liberation. The philosophy of living for society. His Holiness concludes that the most noble philosophy of Cao Dai religion is to live for society and humanity. Humans cannot live in isolation but must integrate into the community, using their lives to serve and contribute to societal development. He emphasizes that when individuals recognize their responsibility toward society, they free themselves from the burdens of karma and achieve true freedom. This philosophy not only brings peace and joy in the present life but also opens the path to evolution in future incarnations. His Holiness encourages everyone to embrace truth, accept challenges, and persevere on the divine path of eternal life, attaining glory and merging into the eternal divine realm. Conclusion. The philosophies taught by His Holiness Dharma Protector Pham Cong Tak are not mere words but the essence of the sacred path we pursue. With a deep understanding of the perispirit and its divine potential, we are equipped to face life's challenges, not only for our own benefit but also for the collective progress of humanity. We are not random travelers on this earth but active participants in the grand legacy of the universe, contributing to its magnificence through our spiritual journey. By living righteously, preserving our dignity, and striving for collective harmony, we fulfill our purpose and partake in the divine plan. Chapter 11. True Happiness of Humanity and the Means to Overcome Suffering. Today, His Holiness Dharma Protector Pham Cong Tak continues his teachings on the divine path of eternal life, emphasizing the concept of true happiness for humanity and the methods to transcend suffering. He poses that happiness is not merely the absence of the 4 sufferings but lies in deeply understanding and addressing them authentically. The 4 sufferings and their meaning in human existence. His Holiness asserts that every perispirit incarnates into the physical world, bearing a material body, referred to as the animal body. This body is governed by the laws of evolution and must endure the 4 sufferings, birth, aging, sickness, and death, to achieve spiritual fulfillment. However, these sufferings are not meant to be evaded but faced, conquered, and transcended. He compares the four sufferings to a prison that confines the perispirit, like a bird in a cage or a fish in a bowl. The essence of the perispirit is to seek freedom from these constraints, and only with sufficient willpower, courage, and resilience can one overcome their limitations. Happiness amidst suffering. When confronted with the four sufferings, people often seek fleeting comforts to distract themselves from pain. However, His Holiness emphasizes that true happiness cannot be achieved by avoiding suffering. It can only be attained through understanding the nature of suffering and finding the path to transcend it. He recounts the story of a perispirit that, upon reincarnating, requested 4 conditions from the king of hell to achieve happiness: to be born as the child of a high-ranking official, become a royal scholar, own vast lands, and have a perfect family with a virtuous wife and beautiful children. Yet, even with all these blessings, the perispirit might still fail to find true happiness. This illustrates that material wealth and worldly achievements are transient and cannot provide lasting fulfillment. The philosophy of happiness in Cao Dai religion, His Holiness draws from Confucian philosophy, citing 3 elements essential to national prosperity and people's happiness. Heavenly timing. Happiness is only possible when people live in harmony with the will of heaven, aligning their lives with the divine way. Earthly advantage. Favorable living environments, natural resources, and geographical conditions are crucial for prosperity and stability. Human unity. Harmony and unity among people are vital to prevent chaos and bring peace to society. However, His Holiness emphasizes that even with these 3 factors, happiness remains unattainable without morality and guidance from the divine realm. Humanity's failure in pursuing happiness. His Holiness points out that humanity, despite enduring 2 world wars, has yet to learn the lessons of happiness and peace. International organizations like the United Nations have failed to achieve their objectives due to a lack of unity and sincerity. Humanity continues to chase an illusory happiness, misled by false ideologies and selfish ambitions. This misguided pursuit has led to tragedies, such as the assassination of spiritual figures like Mahatma Gandhi and Saint Delagadot, victims of malicious forces driven by selfish motives. Conclusion. His Holiness concludes that to attain true happiness and transcend suffering, humanity must understand: happiness is not found in material wealth, fame, or power. Happiness lies in self-awareness, living in accordance with heaven's will, and serving society. Only by reclaiming morality and living in harmony can humanity overcome present suffering and achieve eternal happiness. He encourages everyone to reflect on the true meaning of happiness and strive to live meaningful lives, not just for themselves but for their communities and all of humanity. This, he affirms, is the path to overcoming the 4 sufferings and attaining spiritual fulfillment. Chapter 12. The Divine Power of Religions to Protect the Perispirits of Beings. Today, His Holiness Dharma Protector Pham Cong continues his teachings on the divine path of eternal life, focusing on the role and power of religions in safeguarding the perispirits of beings. He emphasizes that religions, through their core principles, bear the responsibility of guiding human perispirits toward salvation and liberation. The role of the Palace of the Heavenly Union Mission. The Palace of the Heavenly Union Mission serves as a sacred court where perfect beings advocate for the perispirits of living beings. Here, founders of the world's religions are summoned to witness and address matters concerning the perispirits of their followers. His Holiness stresses that a religion's power to protect its followers' perispirits depends on how faithfully its adherents practice and uphold its core teachings. The 3 major religious foundations. His Holiness examines the 3 major religious traditions, highlighting their core philosophies and practices, and questioning their effectiveness in protecting the perispirits of their followers. Buddhism, His Holiness teaches, the essence of Buddhism lies in compassion and boundless love. The Buddha devoted his life to serving humanity and all beings. Wealth, prestige, and glory meant nothing to him, they were like flowing water or dew on grass. Even though he was born a prince, he renounced everything, taking up a begging bowl to practice humility. His purpose in begging was to provide for others, establishing places like the Anathapindika garden to help the poor. He refused to wear garments more splendid than those of the needy. The virtue of the Buddha, even in poverty, was spiritually transcendent. If a practitioner claims to follow Buddhist philosophy but fails to live up to the Buddha's virtues, or worse, acts contrary to his selfless spirit of service, can their actions and spiritual practices be recognized in the palace of the Heavenly Union Mission? Christianity. Regarding Christianity, His Holiness teaches, Christ brought his teachings to the world, grounded in the heart and infinite love for humanity. With his sincere heart, he became the sacrificial lamb to atone for the sins of humanity. Like the scapegoat bearing all the sins of the people, Christ carried humanity's burdens, dying on the cross to save them. His life was a testament to boundless love, and he lived solely to embody this love and sacrifice for God the Father. This is his truth, his heart is infinitely holy. If a Christian professes to follow Christ's philosophy but fails to embody his unconditional love and sacrifice, can their actions and spiritual path be validated in the palace of the Heavenly Union Mission? Confucianism. On Confucianism, His Holiness explains, Confucianism is rooted in wisdom. True wisdom takes countless forms and is applied to build human society, which is no easy task. Confucius emphasized self-cultivation as the foundation. Only by cultivating oneself can one possess the authority to guide and educate others, leading humanity to perfection, ultimately achieving supreme goodness. From this teaching, we understand that Confucianism uses wisdom as the basis for constructing society. Self-cultivation must precede family governance, national administration, and universal peace. Only through self-cultivation can one gain the capacity to love and teach others, striving toward ultimate goodness. However, if followers merely acquire knowledge and eloquence but fail to practice self-cultivation, can their spirit and actions truly reflect Confucius's philosophy when they seek recognition as saints in the palace of the Heavenly Union Mission? Moral decline and materialism. His Holiness expresses deep concern over the erosion of spiritual morality due to materialistic influences. He warns that if humanity's spirit is not strong enough to resist material temptations, it will endanger not only the future of Cao Dai religion but also humanity itself. He emphasizes that religious founders endured immense hardship to spread their teachings, yet if their followers failed to practice these principles, even the founders themselves must face accountability in the palace of the Heavenly Union Mission. Conclusion. His Holiness concludes with a question, inviting everyone to reflect on the system God the Father has established to protect humanity's spiritual morality. He emphasizes that safeguarding the perispirits of beings is not only the responsibility of religions but also of every individual. Only by uniting and living in accordance with the moral teachings of their respective religions can humanity achieve salvation and progress along the divine path of eternal life.